Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Truth Train. It's basically gay talk. Two men talking about having life problems.
We don't have problems. We have the solutions. Start it over.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gay Talk. And this is where you find the solutions to your gay problems. Because I think if we play the long gay game, we will probably get more more subscribers. We will also get better algorithm response.
Why?
Oh, because they're like, they're gay. We're inclusive. Like we're including people.
No, but then we lose everything when they find out we're not gay.
Like Milli Vanilli, the band, is like, oh, it's not them singing?
Yeah. And then it all
Right.
falls apart. And Milli Vanilli died of a drug overdose.
No shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to end up there because of your, fake gayness.
Okay, I retract what I just said.
Good.
Welcome to the Truth Train, which is very hetero.
The most hetero train around.
It's a hetero train wreck that is picking up speed.
Hey, listen. I don't think this is a train wreck if we have a sponsor.
Yes, can you please tell the listeners that we have, which is now in the thousands, by the way.
Well, let me just make this very, very clear, okay? When it comes to the Truth Train podcast, everybody wants a piece.
That's true.
Okay.
So people are reaching out. They want us to endorse their product.
They do.
Which
They do.
we, of course, are willing to do.
Right.
For a small fee, of course.
Yes. Because we want to end up on an oil rig broadcasting from pirate radio.
They know.
Oh, right.
They
Okay.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So anyway, Lloyd and Melon hot sauce.
Wow.
Let me put it to you this way. If you think you're going to pull off your future taco meals without Lloyd and Melon hot sauce, you're going to have a very tough life when reality catches up with your delusions.
That's true.
Right? So here we got, first of all, I would just also like to say that, because this is being televised, we have Lloyd and Melon t-shirts, which you refuse to wear.
That is true.
Because we're holding out for more money.
Or yes, I'm using that as a tariff. It's a trade war against
right.
me and Lloyd and Melon.
We're playing hardball
Yes.
against our own partners.
Yes.
All right.
What do we got here?
Cayenne lemongrass.
Wow.
Great hot sauce. Okay. But my favorite is mango habanero, right? Which looks like this.
Sweet and spicy.
That's right. And there's a friend of mine called Chef Justin, and he runs a Michelin star restaurant in New York. And he said it's the perfect amount of flavor relative to flame. And guess what their slogan is? Flavor over flame.
Wow.
That's right. And so, I don't know how you feel about this, but I know for a fact that, I don't take any artist seriously unless they're involved with a hot sauce brand.
What are the others?
They're doubles of the same thing.
Right. Okay, so we got the mango and the spice.
Well, no, they're all
They're all habanero spicy.
They're all spicy and flavorful.
Yes.
It's great stuff.
And Lloyd and Melon is a proud sponsor
Of the Truth Train podcast.
Well, they haven't told me that, but I imagine that they are a proud sponsor of this podcast.
That's right.
And they also want to spice up the Truth Train.
Basically, that's what they want to do. They're very political.
Yes.
They're a very political hot sauce.
This is a very political hot sauce.
This-
When you put that on your dog,
You're picking a side.
you're picking a side.
And if you don't know which side, then we can't help you.
Exactly.
So,
Finally, a spice with politics.
yeah. And let me tell you this, okay?
Yeah.
Lloyd and Melon, they will never meet you in the middle on any policy.
No, they won't.
Okay? They're either for or against.
Yes.
You're either a friend of Lloyd and Melon or you're the enemy.
Yeah.
And just so people know, this is a French guy and an Australian guy, two chef people. And these hot sauce recipes, they came to Keenan Allen. Keenan Lloyd. What's his name? One of them's called Keenan. Anyway, he gets these. He dreams up these recipes, and then he makes them, and then they.
He dreams them up.
Yes, and then they associate a political position
Right.
with each hot sauce.
Right.
Right.
So he dreamt about cayenne and lemongrass.
That's the pro-Palestine hot sauce.
It's pro-Palestine. Do you have the Israeli one? Do you have the pro-Palestine sauce?
I have the anti-abortion one.
Okay. Bombs outside the clinic sauce. Do you have that one?
Oh man. So the point is like no need to protest anymore.
Yeah.
Just find the hot sauce that,
No,
fits your narrative.
That's true, but I would add you don't need to protest anymore. Just buy your meat of choice, put some sauce on it, and eat that policy.
That's right.
And the policy has never tasted better.
That's right.
Now with Lloyd and Mellon. Politics over flavor. Right?
I know a lot of people think it's flavor over flame, but that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
And their right-wing extremism sauce is coming in November, I believe.
Yes.
It's still in customs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm looking forward to all the free Mangione sauce, and
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. So, but in all seriousness, this is a very high quality hot sauce, and it's also locally produced in this country, which is undisclosed, obviously.
of course. Well, you can buy it online, I would imagine.
Yes.
So you go to lloydandmelon dot something.
.com. It's got to be .com.
Well, by the way, why do people always say the .com? Like, just Google it and you'll find it.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, no, it's actually it's an Austrian company. Oh, but I forgot to put in the AT or like whatever the thing is. Like Danish companies, DK, right? .dk. But who gives a shit? Find it online. Google it.
Right.
Lloyd and Mellon, hot sauce, politics and sauce combined.
Yeah. Politics over flavor.
Yes.
Pick your side
Pick your side now.
with Lloyd and Mellon hot sauce.
Yeah.
Eat your way to your narrative.
Yes.
Eat your narrative. You know, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's like bomb the Houthis now with more lemongrass.
With extra lemongrass.
With extra lemongrass.
Yeah. So,
It's a great sponsor. They're providing us with sauce, and I would imagine since you're responsible for this, loads of cash.
Loads
Of like bills. They paid cash.
They bought us an oil rig.
Yeah.
And it's just waiting. It's an abandoned oil rig in international waters.
Yes.
Per the contract.
Of course.
And then there's suitcases of cash on the oil rig. So all we need now is a helicopter license, so we can just move out there and start broadcasting pirate radio.
We could probably do like a seaplane as well.
Maybe, but it's not like an aircraft carrier. You got to land on the.
No, but a sea airplane, you land on the water, and then you just raise it up.
Right.
If you want to keep it
Like DuckTales.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's kind of like DuckTales.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, by the way.
The danger.
I prefer DuckTales over Donald Duck, actually, back in the days. I don't know why. I thought it had more like an Indiana Jones kind of vibe to it.
100%.
It was like less comedy, more action.
100%.
I think so.
It's just a better cartoon.
Okay, so one person wrote on TikTok to the Truth Train. You can find us on TikTok. I think it's called Truth Train. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And somebody said that I don't know if this is if they mean what they say or if it's real in this political climate that we're in.
Right.
Because everything's crazy now. So who knows, right?
Right.
And would you please care to answer that question?
I think if you want to boil down every problem we have right now on every side of the political spectrum,
Right.
it's that people are dissatisfied with how the governments around the world are spending the resources. So that's why we come in and provide solutions. And they're dead serious solutions. Perfect example, as like something I want to talk about today, is stalkers. And then we think like, oh man, stalkers, what a big problem for society. Is it? How can stalkers be used in a productive way? Maybe the CIA should be hiring stalkers to play their role in the, MI6 international espionage game.
But they already kind of have stalkers. People tailing them, following them around.
I'm just saying, like, if you're a stalker, why
You
are
can
you
be
getting
useful.
Yeah, why are you getting a prison sentence? Why aren't you getting recruited for espionage?
I think maybe the difference between like a spy who's like tailing somebody or an investigator, let's say, or a stalker, is that the investigator is not personally invested in that person you're following. It's more like, I have a job that I have to follow this person. It's not personal in that way. But if we could find a way to make a stalker kind of like fall in love with whatever we are pointing at.
Right.
Okay, like you have to follow this guy around.
Mm-hmm.
He is a menace to society, or we don't know yet, but we suspect that kind of behavior. So then I would say, like, try to love this person. And it's like, yeah, but it's a guy, and I'm a guy. I don't love guys. Don't you? Like, don't you want to, like, and then you kind of like do that MK Ultra, so some kind of a CIA brainwashing program, and then make them follow, because it's like method actor. People start to believe that they're that person.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a short course, do some crash course in some method acting, imagining whatever it is. And like, like if you want to play a gay guy, you have to be comfortable kissing men, right? Which was Jim Carrey's tip when he said, like, I love Philip
Morris?
Philip Morris.
No, that's a cigarette brand.
That's a cigarette brand. But he loves cigarettes, I think.
Okay.
But it was I love Philip something.
Yeah.
And he said, but how like there was a lot of kissing between you and Ewan McGregor. How was that? It was like, no, you just have to love that person. Just like love the person.
Right.
Like, why? Okay, so Jim Carrey can kiss a man for like 6 months playing that movie.
Right.
And then go back to being straight, right?
Right.
So that means that we can alter our brain if we want to.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to define what is a stalker.
Right.
Because if I were to say to you, hey, Veronica doesn't want to talk to me anymore, so I'm going to terrorize her till she likes me again. That sounds insane to normal people. I think everyone would agree that sounds insane. You can't terrorize someone to like you again. But then again, that's what these stalkers do. So what are they thinking in their head? And I've had some stalkers in my life.
Of course you have.
And I've come to this conclusion. Imagine, if you will, that at an age of about 8 years old, you won a prize called World's Most Amazing Human Prize. And they gave you a castle, and every day you were surrounded by millions and millions of people who stood in line and said, please give us your wisdom, please. And you were on talk shows 24/7. It was just like a recognized fact that you were the smartest, most brilliant, most wise, most amazing person on planet Earth. And for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you kept winning this prize every single year. It's just a fact that you're the greatest human to ever live. And then one day, you wake up and you say, because keep in mind, every day people are begging you for advice. Like, I sold my house, here's $6 million. Just say one word to me. And you're like, ugh, maybe, I don't know. I'm a little tired, So then one day you wake up and you say, I've decided that I'm going to help Dex out. He needs my assistance now. So you call me up and you go, listen, buddy, I'm going to help you out. And then I say, well, listen, I don't want your help, so please fuck off. And then I hang up the phone. So then you go, wow, he's sicker than I thought. He needs me now more than ever. So you show up at my house. You're ringing my doorbell. I call the police. The police are escorting you away. And you go, wow, I never knew he was this sick. I'm not going to give up on him now. And that kind of narcissism is a very fundamental thing you need at the base of stalking, that you are amazing, and facing any doubt about that, like any thought that maybe you're not the greatest in the world, is a fate worse than death. So the fact that someone doesn't want you in their life, it's not about them. It's about your image now as this amazing person is going to collapse. So I'm saying, like, why, like, because if someone is that narcissistic, why not just send them into North Korea and have Kim Jong-un, reject them?
Well, I think narcissism is something just like ADHD, right, or autism or whatever it is. Like it's probably like everything that exists. It exists for a reason. I think. Like some people are lazy, but they're smart. Some people are very productive, but not smart. Like people are very effective and like they work and they are a hard worker, but not they don't find the good solutions. But if somebody who's lazy, they can find like they can find a good solution because they want to get back to being lazy, right? So you have all these traits that humans have, and somehow that kind of like developed into this society that we have. I think narcissism and stalking, I think that are traits that we need.
Dude, I think there's some of the most incredible traits out there.
I think it's underestimated.
They're being used in the wrong way.
I think it's not valued.
Because of the government.
Again, society has said that they are not useful.
That's right.
And people, I agree. I don't like people watching in through the window from their car all day, all week, kind of. Right? They go on dates and then they show up at the table opposite them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we can find solutions here. How we can make everybody happy and rich, and I think we can utilize a lot of this.
Yeah.
And I think maybe one of the things we should do is to, as you said perfectly, they should be in the intelligence apparatus.
Yeah.
Right. We can use that skill for something because we need espionage, right? So we need to take that behavior and control it.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Weaponize it.
Weaponize it.
Yeah.
Okay, who do we need information on? We need information on, let's say, somebody who works in the Kremlin, let's say, right?
Kremlin?
Yeah, the Kremlin. Like somebody who's close in the cabinet of Putin.
Is the microphone working and everything?
Yeah, everything's
Okay,
good.
great.
Don't worry about it. Hey. Yeah.
Just because I can't hear anything in here.
Hey. What?
Now I can hear you a little bit.
Hey. Oh, there you go. Have I been silent for the whole time?
I think for a while.
Shit. Anyway, yeah. Anyway.
When did it log out?
2 days ago. Anyway, no. But well, it doesn't matter. But the point is, I think we should weaponize it and use it. But also, that's for the military.
But hold on. How much is missing?
No, and we're good. We're good.
But we aren't.
Don't worry.
There was a big chunk missing.
No, there's no chunk.
But I couldn't hear you the whole time.
Why didn't you say anything before?
I didn't know. I thought you're the audio guy.
Yeah, but if you couldn't hear anything.
No, but like I can hear you over there. I mean, obviously you're sitting across from me, but I couldn't hear you in here.
No, I think we're good. We're just it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. We have sound from the cameras as well.
No, we don't.
Okay, we have sound. We have sound. We're good on sound.
Are we?
Oh, we're good.
Why don't we stop it and you check it?
Then you can sync everything.
Well,
yeah. Listen, it's just one of those episodes.
okay, fine.
Okay. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say here is we need to find the stalkers and weaponize them, and then I think in the private sector we can also use them. Right.
Yeah.
And do you have any good ideas around that? Like, how can we do it in private, like in the private market? How can we utilize the stalkers?
I can tell you this. There's nothing on earth more frightening than a stalker because it's so psycho. Like, it's so unstable. Just the fact that, like, I don't want you in my life. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be. It's just so creepy. So again, right, all the violent criminals we have in society, all the gangs, all the people who hit their spouse, hit their children, like anyone who gets caught with anyone accused of a violent crime should get a stalker, like a government financed stalker after them, just terrorizing them 24/7, right? Like using everything they know. And like
and this does not at all sound like a government issued stalker.
What do you mean?
Or is it the government issued? What was the name of the thing? What we said a couple of episodes ago?
Oh no, that was a government-sponsored psychopath.
Psychopath. Yeah. This is different.
Yeah, of course, it's a totally different
I mean,
program.
it sounds completely different.
It is. Listen, you take the psychopaths, okay, and you send them after the children who are being annoying.
Right.
Right. And then you take the stalkers and you send them after the violent people. It's a cycle. Because here's the thing, the violent people, when they get caught, they get sent into schools to stop the bullies. But who's gonna humble the violent people enough to be also employed by the government, right? The psychopaths, and those are stalkers.
Yeah.
So every stalker needs their own psychopath. Every psychopath needs their own stalker. What was I thinking? To keep them in check.
Of course.
Because you need terror, constant lingering terror. You have to be looking over your shoulder all the time. The police can't do that. The army can't do that. The government can't do that. Only a stalker can do that. Like a person who genuinely makes you fear for your life all the time. Not because that person is necessarily like strong or dangerous or even psychotic, but because they are so detached from reality, so you don't know what they're capable of. So you could literally have like a 24-year-old little girl in like tights and like a workout hoodie, destroying a huge 6'4" bodybuilder psychologically within weeks. And these are the kind of dynamics you need to keep a society functioning.
Is that a fact?
All the research shows that.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Right?
But I would say, of course, when it comes to the psychopaths and the stalkers, some people may need a psychopath and a stalker to keep them in check. Because, again, and this is not your idea or my idea, they've always used the boogeyman as the entity that keeps you in check. Mm-hmm. You know, don't kill because then God will hate you. Mm-hmm. Like don't steal, then the God will hate you. Like don't do that or the boogeyman, you know, the behave or, you know, Osama bin Laden, right? Like we have to kill everybody in the Middle East or else Osama bin Laden, right? So, you know, and by the way, they never wanted to catch him. Like that was never the goal. Why would you catch the thing that keeps the war going, right? I mean, it's so funny with right after 9/11. If they just killed Osama bin Laden, you know, what would happen? Right? And instead, like, well, now suddenly they can do the thing that they planned already in 1992, which was, as Wesley Clark, the general in America, look it up, kids. Mm-hmm. They wanted to bomb and take over, destabilize, and change the governments of Syria, Libya, Yemen, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, and
Lebanon.
I think Lebanon as well. It was 7. It was 7 of them.
Yeah.
And they've done 6 of them, and Iran is the last thing. But luckily for the world now, Trump is sable rattling with Iran. He's just like, well, you know, they have to be very careful, right? Because they he said that they're not allowed to have a nuclear bomb, right? And which some people say they already have, by the way. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting.
Sounds like a stalker shortage, if you ask me.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Mm-hmm. Like this is a typical situation where there hasn't been enough stalkers and psychopaths running around, keeping people in check. That is the problem we have now. If we had more of them and useful, like put them to use, we would be better off.
That's right. I've had a lot of violent people threaten me.
Right.
But nothing has destroyed me psychologically harder than a stalker. So, I mean, if you had someone like Uday Hussein,
right,
he was a problem for a while.
He was a problem for a while.
And then people go, how do we destroy him? It's like, oh, he can't be destroyed. Hey, you know what I mean? You got a bunch of stalkers over there at the local mental hospital that you're not using for anything. Yeah. It's like having a safe filled with gold bullion, claiming you can't buy things.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. And just as to follow up on that one, what is his name? Uday. Yeah, the son of Saddam. It was Uday and Qusay. right? The sons of Saddam Hussein, who sometimes went to other people's weddings and then stole the woman and then abused them for their own satisfaction, right? This was what they did. And which is not nice. We do not endorse that kind of behavior. We do not support abducting of people's wives.
Not at their weddings.
Especially not at their weddings. Not at their weddings. Yeah, we do not support that. Yes, exactly. And they are a typical, as you said, a typical victim, I would say. They're a victim. Uday and Kusei are a victim of not having the right psychopaths and stalkers around them to keeping them balanced and in check and humble.
Let me tell you something right now. I remember being like backstage before I was going to go on stage, and I had a stalker at the time. And the messages are coming in like dunk, 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 dunk. Like if you look at your phone and then you look away for 5 seconds and look back at your phone and there's 16 new text messages in the space of 5 seconds, you're thinking like, okay, this person is like certifiably insane. So like, what are they capable of doing? It's very hard to concentrate on doing stand-up, right?
Right.
So no matter what you're doing, right, be it, you're committing genocide or you're abducting people from weddings, like whatever terrible thing you're doing, I'd imagine that also is harder with a stalker just on you. Yeah. There's this presence of insanity that like wears you down.
Right. If you're in a war zone and you're getting shot at, and you're trying to reload and support your buddies, but there's also a stalker. Not only is the enemy firing on you, but there's a woman looking for you. That is not great.
No, it's not.
It's not great.
It's not great.
And so it kind of fucks up your mental situation, right?
That's right.
Like your buddy's like, oh, I got your back. I got your back. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like, hey, Henry. Yeah. There's a woman looking for you. What?
Yeah.
And then like you're getting shot at by the Taliban or whatever. And it's just like, there's this woman, Catherine. Why are you talking about that? Nah, we can talk about it later. Why the fuck did you just say it?
Yeah.
Like now you're in even more danger because you've lost your concentration.
And not only that, but a different kind of danger. A kind of danger your gun can't fix.
In many ways it can. if you think about it.
If you get creative with it.
We're not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is a way. But how you solve that is... Yeah.
That's your.
And people think, what do you mean, like shooter? No. What are you talking about? Gifting the gift of a bullet.
I just think that a lot of people would benefit from a lot of pain. True. But I certainly can't just go out there and unleash street justice on people. That wouldn't be okay. But the government, right, should get in there. And so I was talking to this woman recently. She has 2 children, and they're now like 15 and 17 or something like that. And they're just so rude and obnoxious and non-grateful and just terrible human beings.
Right.
And I said, wouldn't it be funny if all teenagers were sent to a concentration camp for a month, just so they could appreciate what they have and be less shitty people?
And I just want to specify for the algorithm now. Okay. You didn't mean like the one we had back in 1940, 45. But we're talking about kids going to a camp where they can learn to concentrate.
Just different. Fine, a little different, but
yeah.
But
not much, but
not much.
A little bit different.
Listen. Look, yes, there's no food. Yes, they're being beaten mercilessly. Yes, there's tons of pain. Yes, no one's sleeping through the night. Yes, they're cold. Yes, they're shivering. Yes, they're breaking down psychologically. But it's all supervised.
And all of these examples are metaphors.
Well, it's all supervised.
But it's metaphors.
Okay, look, long story short, she said, I would pay money to send my children there. How much is it? When can I send them?
Yeah.
You're going to have lines around the block of parents desperate to get their teenage, hit puberty, boom, you should go straight in Dex's concentration camp.
Yeah. Let's maybe rebrand it a little bit,
Right?
because I think it would be a hard sell getting Google ads. Let's say,
Well,
getting your message out there with Dex's concentration.
Yeah, but I want you to concentrate on gratitude.
Right.
So it's a gratitude concentration camp.
Yeah, but maybe we should rebrand it. Like, okay, so we have boarding schools.
Fine, gratitude camp.
Gratitude.
Listen, here we go. We rebrand it because it's
Grad camp.
It's not there to destroy people's lives, right? It's not there to punish you for your political beliefs.
No.
It's just there to make you a better person because it's supposed to make you more grateful for what you have.
Right.
So, okay, yes, there's violence. Yes, you're shivering. No, you can't sleep. Yes, you're miserable. Oh my God, you regret being born. But it's all supervised, and it's a gratitude camp.
Yeah.
So you walk out of there and you go, thank God that's over, and then you're just a better person.
Because a lot of people who are, what do you call it? Like they are, they're braggadocious. They're.
I don't think braggadocious is the word.
Yeah, but they're like people are like. What do you call it? Like they're like high on themselves.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they think they're something.
Yeah, they do.
I know everything. Blah blah.
Yeah.
And then they go to war and they come back and it's just like, how was it? And this like guy who was always like, hey, yeah, and then like always the guy who's bullying and stuff comes back and it's just like, yeah,
the light is gone in his eyes.
Yeah, we won.
That's right.
And it's just like, yeah, aren't you happy? You won the war. And everybody's like throwing candy and whatever it is called.
Confetti.
Like, confetti and balloons and fucking fireworks and all that shit. And it's just like, but aren't you happy? And everybody they were over here working and like, building society. But everyone who came back from the war was just like, yeah, it's just, I think I'll take it easy. Right, and it's just like, and then they forever struggle with the
alcoholism,
and they become, of course, abusive. But and it's just like it's over, like their life is over, right?
That's right.
Which means that it helps, not in the way we wanted, perhaps, but it is personal. It's altering. It's behavior altering. It's altering your behavior.
It's the real cognitive behavioral therapy.
Right.
And so, look, I know for a fact I would have been a better person if I was sent to a gratitude camp when I was 15.
Right.
And just having starved, I think that's a great experience. When I was going off Lyrica, I had to take a Cyprexa later on in the evening, and I was nauseous always. And the idea of not being able to take this dose of Cyprexa was so terrifying that I spent the whole day like shaking in a corner, just like the idea of throwing up this Cyprexa and throwing off the quantities in my blood was a fate worse than death. And so I would eat one meal every 3 days. I was constantly starving, and I was nauseous. That made me a better person. But when I was like driving the Gumball 3000, surrounded by beautiful women, beautiful cars, tons of fans, drinking vodka high on Valium, no, that didn't make me a better person. It's always the pain. The pain is the currency of the future.
Which is the problem today. People think that pain is not the solution.
People think pain is not the new Bitcoin, and that's the worst mistake you're ever going to make.
That is, invest now. So I think we have made that clear, and I just want to say, I thought about something today. I think which is very important, by the way, because we all have some friends to some degree, and I thought about it today, like. Who of my friends are gonna die alone, right?
Nice.
Who's never gonna meet anyone? They're not gonna get married. They're not gonna have somebody who they live with, or like share their life with. And I wondered if we could like go through what are the signs of somebody who's gonna die alone?
Wow,
right.
Great topic.
Okay, what do we look at or what do we look for in a person who's now gonna probably end up alone, and it's just gonna be like 70 years old and like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know everything's fine over here.
Right.
No, I had my plants watered, and then I went to the store and I bought some food, and now I'm enjoying myself on the sofa. What are you doing?
Who is this? Is this one
This
of
is
the?
a person who's gonna die alone.
Who's an American Italian?
He's an Italian Jew. I don't know, but he's calling. He's calling a friend
Right.
who's married and has his life in order, and it's like, oh, you're leaving for Easter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I think that's wonderful. And the kids are fine too. That's great.
Why does he sound so optimistic?
No, because he's like trying to hide
The pain.
the pain.
He's overcompensating.
Right? Yes, that's great. Okay, well, no. We can talk later on. I was just calling. Don't worry about me.
Right.
No. Okay, I'll talk to you later then. Get the best of the missus.
Right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
Right? And then he goes back to his life, watching TV,
Right.
watching out the window, young people carrying school books, running off, people going to work. He's like, well, it's 9 o'clock, and, well, I have to fill the day. So I guess he goes off and, go into society, buys a cup of coffee, sits there alone, talks to strangers,
Right.
becomes one of those.
Okay.
So you come often to this cafe,
I've met those people.
right?
Yeah.
Like, no, my wife, no, I don't have a wife, actually.
It's a very strange character you've created here.
Well, these are the characters.
Right. Right.
So who are, you think,
Yeah.
friends of yours who's going to end up like that? And also, what are the signs, like early stages of dying alone?
Right. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
But I know people who are they're fat, they're bald, and they're really, really like stubborn and like set in their ways. I will never change for anyone. I want to eat bacon and drink Coca-Cola and eat potato chips, and they like sleep with a sleep apnea mask, and and then they're older and they go like, I want a 25-year-old blonde. Right. So high expectations. That's what will destroy you. If you want a long, great marriage, have low expectations, like Warren Buffett says.
I mean, Warren Buffett is one of the best stock traders in the world.
He must know about marriage.
And who is a better person to give advice about love than a stock trader?
That's right. That's right.
Because he trades in the markets.
He buys and sells men like himself every day.
Exactly.
So he knows.
I know. If I were to get married, I would love to have Warren Buffett give me the ceremony.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just think stuff like what I see is there's a lot of people who are like inflexible with the wrong stuff.
So I would push back a little bit on the overweight problem.
Okay.
That you said there, because I know people who are overweight that meet other people who are overweight, and they just sit together on the couch and being like, two happy pigs eating pizza.
Agreed, but you can't be overweight and expect to meet a younger person who's not overweight.
Well, at some point they kind of like, well, I just want company. I'll settle for less.
All right, you would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people will. Like kind of like I'm like in my 50s here. I never really had a girlfriend. This is not going well for me.
You never had a girlfriend either in your 50s?
Right.
This character, yeah?
The character I was playing was in the 70s.
Oh, God. Oh, that's right.
Right? Because he was like, I'm all alone here.
Oh, right.
Right?
It's fucking cold. Seems like a really bad Santa Claus impersonator.
Sure.
You know what I mean? At a small mall in New Jersey.
But these people exist.
Yeah, I think
They
so.
walk around, and the women too. Like, no, Henry died many years ago.
You know what? I honestly think that I am going to be one of these people.
Well, I was going to say it, but
This is where you were going.
I'm glad you pointed it out.
You were waiting for me to understand it.
I think you will die alone. Yes.
Yes, I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I mean it's not necessarily sad.
No,
it's not necessarily sad.
It's more realistic.
It's more realistic.
Yeah, no, but listen, here's the thing. Like, I've had 6 stalkers. I've had death threats. I've been through addiction, and I spent 6 years in psychiatric drug withdrawal. And it changed me permanently. And I don't know if it's for the better.
But here's my question. How did it change you? Because I hear and see no difference.
No, it's
between the person I knew.
It's all up here.
Way before and way after this shit.
All up here.
Okay, but what exactly has changed? You have more plants. I think that is the only thing.
It's my wisdom.
You have pictures on the wall now. You didn't used to.
The wisdom is screaming.
Okay, you make more meatballs than ever. What exactly has changed?
You know what? That's a great question.
Thank you.
But I don't know. It's just something about, like, okay, as an example, right? Like, I know for a fact that going through psychiatric drug withdrawal, the most difficult thing I've ever done, makes heroin withdrawal look like a day at the beach, like a fun day at the beach with Coca-Cola and women and everything. So a guy said to me once, he's like, "Oh yeah, is it worse than losing a child?" And I was like, "Look, I don't have children, but I've been to events about tapering psychiatric drugs, and people have said I've lost a child, but nothing was worse than going off that pill. Like, it is so beyond brutal." So I know for a fact from personal experience that the most dangerous place in this whole society is in a doctor's office, right? And try saying that to people and have people go, "Yeah, that sounds totally reasonable." You have to go through the pain to understand who your enemies are. Well, your enemies are the doctors. And there's one comedian guy who's half doctor, half comedian, and 100% asshole. And he thinks, right? He thinks he's so fucking cool, right? And I remember telling him, like, "Hey, guess what? These pills you're prescribing everybody, they're like a nightmare to get off. And I was handicapped for 5 years because of them. And I had to live at a secret address." And he looks at me and he goes, "Oh yeah? Where'd you live?"
Secret address?
Yeah.
No, but here, first of all, I'm. This is not the guy we're talking about, but I'm pro Anthony Fauci. I'm Team Fauci all the way. I'm the biggest Fauci fans out there. You know, I'm one of the biggest. Yeah, big, huge, right? Huge on the Fauci, right? Okay, give me another Fauci over here. Oh God, right? That's the guy. That's my guy, right? So just just want to put that out there.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'll still meet people today who look at me and go, "You're unvaccinated."
Yeah, okay, but let's not go into that one. But
just in general, yes, I'm unvaccinated, and I was right the whole time.
I did
so
start
these people can seriously fuck off.
I do apologize that I did start that one. So,
yeah, but like, seriously, like, listen, it's like, oh my God, it's so fucking insane.
I don't think we should go into that one because that's another episode.
It's just increasing my chances of dying alone the more I broadcast this stuff.
Yes.
Look, all I want is to live on a farm with a bunch of chickens and be unvaccinated and have no antidepressants, all right? And that's not a lot to ask, I think, but a lot of people are like, "Well, that sounds a bit crazy."
But you could live on that farm like tomorrow.
Yeah, but I can't get someone to join me.
But do you need somebody to join you?
Well, I need someone who likes chickens as much as me.
A woman.
Yeah.
There are tons of women who love chicken.
Are there?
I mean, come on, man.
That's what they want you to think.
Put it on your profile, whatever it is. Like on your, the dating, your dating ad in a newspaper. Right? You put in like, "Hey, you have to love chickens.
Chicken woman wanted."
Yeah, chicken woman wanted. Right. Coming home to roost. The point is this. Mm-hmm. I think... First, you could sell your apartment and take out your savings and whatever and live on a farm. You could do that pretty soon. Like, that's a viable option for you. Like, you can actually do that. That's something you can actually make a call and make it happen. Right. Finding the woman who wants to live on that farm with you. I think they exist. I think they exist.
I want a woman to join me on that farm so we can sit there hating Big Pharma together all day long in front of a fireplace.
Yeah, but you have to feed the chicken as well.
Hey, I met a woman like that, you know, and she just threw me out of her life like
Really?
I was human garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't want to live on a farm.
You know what? That's what they want you to think.
Where's mommy? She went up to a farm upstate.
Didn't come back.
Never
Didn't
come
come
back.
back.
She joined this cult later. At least he looked like
He
one.
looked like a cult leader.
Yeah.
But on paper, there was no cult.
What cult is on paper? That's my question.
The official cult papers.
It was a cult, but not on paper. No. There's never. That's the cult.
There's no
paperwork.
There's no paperwork.
Where's the paper trail? Well, it's a cult. We don't really believe in paper. Oh, pardon me. What is it? The Koresh? I don't think David Koresh had a lot of paper lying around.
Or Jim Jones.
Or Jim Jones. Not big on paper.
Anyway, look, all I was going to say was this.
Right.
So I met this girl, and she wanted the chickens, and she was anti-Big Pharma, and she was just like, she had all the same values as me and everything, and she still threw me out of her life. So The point is, who's going to die alone? You're looking at it right here. I got everything you need. And just like have a bunch of extreme opinions and just really have innovative solutions to a bunch of problems and fearlessly express them to the nation, ideally from an oil rig from international waters with suitcases of money. And you will also die alone.
You think so?
Hey. Oh my God. Money back guarantee. Money back guarantee.
Well, I'm open for it. Like I'm not like, because if you tell a person you're gonna die alone, they become very protective. Oh, what do you mean? And like, you can't change people's opinion just by like being worked up about it.
No, you can't.
You can't,
Hey,
right?
And it's better, or to put it this way, the worst thing is to feel lonely with someone else.
Oh my God, I've done that.
Ugh.
I'd rather be alone than feeling alone with someone.
Dude, imagine sitting outside your bunker with a shotgun, all right? You got enough corn and maize to fucking, well, those are the same thing. You got enough beans and corn to last you through the apocalypse, right? And everyone's coming, hey, you got any extra maize? And you just fucking fire into the air, throw a couple of grenades into the field, you know? Like, whatever, losers. You know what I mean? And you see they're all in relationships. Like, ooh, good luck taking care of your so-called family now. You know, and you got enough weapons and artillery to last you fucking through all of Armageddon. Now who's laughing?
Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying.
No, you're gonna find someone based on this. You're gonna find someone.
Hey, listen. If the apocalypse comes, when the apocalypse comes,
right?
Who do you want? Like, do you want like a guy who's like, ooh, I used to be a professor at the local college? Or do you want the guy who's got like those bullet belts like across the chest with 2 shotguns sitting in one of those lawn chairs outside his underground bunker, right? Screaming obscenities
Wait a minute.
at the families walking by, like, killing a bunny and eating it raw. You know what I mean? Or like, which one of those would you want in the apocalypse?
You're sitting with a shotgun or 2 shotguns in a rocking chair?
No, in a lawn chair.
In a lawn chair?
Yeah.
Outside your underground bunker.
Well, yeah, because it's like there's an entrance that goes into the ground.
Like,
I've also got
like a slided door opening.
I've also got a kiddie pool to cool down my feet.
Of course you have. Because it's hot.
Yeah, it is.
But how's the door? Like, what is the entrance?
Kind of like a. You know those, I don't know, kind of like a cellar door.
Like a slided, like a door, like kind of like tilted doors?
Don't worry about it. It's a good bunker.
Okay.
Just trust the bunker.
I'm just trying to see, like, I'm trying to vision this scenario where, like, you're sitting on a lawn chair outside a door.
Well, yeah. No, yeah, but there's a staircase down into my bunker.
But is there a door?
Yeah, it's a hatch.
There's a hatch.
It's a hatch into the bunker staircase.
Like a flat hatch.
That's right.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm sitting out there, right? I got grenades, you know, like hooked to my cool hat and everything. I got a grenade hat. I'm sitting there with 2 shotguns. I'm armed to the teeth. I got beads.
What's my grenade hat?
I got beans. I
You
got
have
guns.
grenades on your head?
Then I can just,
Wow.
Anyway, so this I'm a very impressive doomsday guy, okay? Because in society, nobody wants anything to do with me. But now the doomsday is coming. I got my lawn chair, I got my weapons, I got my beans, I got my storage, I got my clean water.
Yeah.
I got it all.
The women will come running.
That's what I'm saying. So listen, either the women do come running, and now suddenly, right, everybody wants a piece of the bunker guy. But even if they don't, I'm still the coolest bunker guy around. So it's a win-win for me. Now, all these other people are out there going like, ooh, maybe I should marry someone and like start a family, and I'll fail miserably. At least I know what I want to do. I'm a bunker guy. I just got to wait for apocalypse, and then it's my time to shine.
You could have several wives, I think.
I think so too.
And is this before or after the apocalypse?
Well, I mean, mostly during.
During.
That's when the good things happen.
During an apocalypse.
That's right.
How long does an apocalypse last?
Great question, but usually between 7 and 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of the fallout from the nuclear wars.
Oh, okay. It's nuclear.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about a comet, asteroid, that kind of stuff?
Sure, but that's a little bit like, I don't know. It all goes under the general headline
Yeah,
of like,
it takes a while.
fallout is the key word you
Fallout
want
is
there.
the word. Yeah, exactly.
The fallout from the disaster. And that's when you want the beans, right? So anyway, you just want people to fear you while you can feed yourself.
Yeah, and
fear and feed.
That's what women respect.
They do.
They love it.
They do.
Okay, so you've completely changed my mind now on you dying alone.
Yeah.
I think listen, I think you will die alone if the world keeps on being stable as we know it.
Well, that's a given.
But if the apocalypse comes, and for some reason, I don't know where you're going to get this, but you're going to, for some reason, get a lot of hand grenades and guns
Hand grenade
and a
hat.
lawn chair. I don't know where you're going to get this. That includes the lawn chair, by the way.
Don't worry about where I get the stuff. I'm gonna get the stuff.
So I don't know how you're going to do that, but if that hour comes, like you will then step up to the challenge. I think.
I think so too.
And I think they will come running. I think they will look at you as like, I didn't like you because like the world was stable.
Yeah.
But now that the world is unstable,
Yeah.
you're a guy that is stable, and I should be with you because you're the only one who can save us.
Well, I mean, I'm not claiming to be able to save anybody, but at least I have the coolest setup, so you'll die in the coolest way.
Yeah, but save us, like save. Probably she wants to save her family too, right? This, people who survive.
Right.
Like I have a sister.
Yeah.
Can she also come? And my friend.
Right.
She has a dog.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I think as long as everyone keeps looking at their phone, right, then I'm definitely going to end up alone. But if an apocalypse comes and the phones go down and they have to look up from their phone, then I'm in.
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
I think that you have to be you will thrive in a society where everything breaks down.
Yeah.
I think that you're born. Your attitude is not fit for this period.
It's not my attitude, my general personality does not fit a well-functioning society.
Right.
It fits mayhem and
Fits-
a breakdown.
Yeah, or 1930.
Right.
1930.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah. Mostly 33 to 39. The build-up.
Yeah. You're really good at the build-up.
I'm really good as things are
Yeah.
escalating.
Yeah,
I thrive then.
And you got your hot sauce.
I got my hot sauce.
Your simpatico
That's
hot
right.
sauce.
That's right.
You know?
Mhm.
And but I think so let's get back to the signs of what so a person who's listening to this podcast will probably then ask, well, what is the signs to look for in a person who's going to die alone?
I think the ultimate power is to just assume you're going to die alone and everything else is a bonus.
So you assume, like, let's say you're looking for people who's like, who are my friends are going to die alone?
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for in that? What signs are you looking for in that person?
I'm looking for people who are extremely interesting, who have very interesting thoughts.
Right.
They're going to die alone.
Yeah.
But the people who are completely uninteresting, they are definitely going to find somebody.
Right.
It's like these people, they love, like it seems to me like most people meet each other like, oh my God, I like eating sushi. And they go, no way, me too. And it's like, then they get married based on that. And then they go on holidays together and just sort of eat at restaurants. And other than that, it seems like not much else is happening. But if you have like extraordinarily cool ideas, like, lawn chair, double shotgun, then people go, ooh, that's too much for me.
But here's the thing, because I see these multi-millionaires marry these young, attractive women, right?
Right.
And like, okay, so this guy he's tan, he's older, he drives a fancy car, he goes to Monte Carlo, he goes to Dubai, he goes to all the fancy places. He's always at the right place every year. And then the question becomes, like, what do you talk to this like very attractive, fancy young woman? Like, what do you talk to? Like, what is the conversation with this person that you're having? Because I would imagine that you're bored out of your fucking mind.
I mean, you just keep buying them things, so there never is a conversation.
Right.
Here's another credit card. Here's another credit card. Here's a bag. Here's a ring. And you keep going like that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Must be.
But you sit at a table and like you're in a fancy restaurant with maybe like the most boring person.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a fancy place or two, and I've looked at the table where the guy's, he's paying for everything, and she's like very fancy. She has even like a small, like a chair for her bag. They do that at fancy restaurants.
Right.
They have like a velvet couch thing that they put the bag on, like because it's not supposed to be on the floor, right? And I always like thought like, and he, okay, you're very rich, but you look miserable. What's wrong with you? But he doesn't want to end up alone. Right. So strong. Like, it's that strong that like, okay, I could buy people every day, all day long, but I'm still like, I'm going to commit to this person. It's boring as shit, but I will commit, and I will marry her, and I'll give her everything she points at. Right. And so people are willing to really lower their standards of what happiness is, or what life should be, or break with the illusions that they had earlier. Like, I'm gonna have a fun wife, and she's gonna be hot, and I'm gonna travel the world, right? And then it's just like, nah, it didn't really happen for me. Maybe they got divorced 1 or 2 times. They, blah blah blah. They learned to, okay, I'm gonna have a prenup. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have that. And so I'm just saying, the urge to get somebody and have somebody in your life is very strong, and you people are willing to lower their standards to have someone.
I'm willing to increase the amount of guns I own.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the difference.
I think that's the difference.
I don't lower my standards. I increase the amount of weapons.
Yes.
And the amount of beans I'm guarding.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if you look, we've discussed, like, okay, basically like 1 out of 4 adults in the West is on a psychiatric drug. When that transportation shuts down and nobody gets those psychiatric drugs, I will be the Lord of War.
You will.
Double shotgun, helping people taper off the drugs, right? And I'll be sitting there deciding who gets Paxil, who gets Zoloft.
With a bunch of chickens behind you.
That's right. Got an army of chickens and a pocket full of Cymbalta.
But what are the signs we're looking for in a person who's going to die alone? Is that a person who's never satisfied? The person is never satisfied.
Okay, well, I'll put it to you this way, right? Since I'm very, like, what's the opposite of the guy guarding his bunker? That's the victim role. Yes. Right? So the victim guy, he's going to die alone. So you have to be a doer, and you have to, like, prepare for the worst. And you have to realize that the currency of the future is fear.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think in many ways it's already a currency, I think. But I think signs,
right?
Again, signs to look for in a person who's going to die alone.
Right.
I think it is. I think I could do better.
Okay.
I think I could do better.
Right.
I think I could do better.
Right.
It's an obsession.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can do better.
Right.
Instead of like, okay, I can work with this. I can work with it.
Yeah.
It's not what I expected. It's not what I was ordering since I was 13 years old. But as I've now learned, I'm not going to the gym.
Right.
I don't have money for plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the luxury apartment that I always dreamt about.
Right.
I don't have the Ferrari. I don't have the cabin. I don't have the sailboat. I don't have the airplane.
Yeah.
I don't have the balloon.
The balloon.
The
Everybody wants
blimp.
Everybody wants
I don't
the
have
balloon.
the fucking skydiving equipment that I always dreamt about.
Right.
I'm going to be this person. I'm going to be this guy rolling on the couch, just like baking in the shadow.
Baking in the shadows.
Right?
Yeah.
And okay, so I will date my neighbor.
Damn straight.
She's not perfect.
Right.
She's not great.
Mm-hmm.
She smells sometimes.
Right. No.
But what is the option? To die alone?
Mm-hmm.
I have to make a choice here. And I think that choice comes later in life now because everybody feels younger longer. Because our parents live longer.
Right.
That's why we don't step up to become our own. Like, people wait with children. They don't have children. Right?
Right.
That's also one. You don't have children.
I'm going to get some once I get the chickens.
Chickens first?
Chickens first.
Then children.
Then the children.
Right.
Because you're never going to meet a woman without chickens.
So true.
At least not the right one.
That is true too.
But you know what? You know what really bothers me? Let me tell you how I'm going to shine. All right, in this whole predicament you're talking about.
Does it include shotguns? Because you kind of stated it already.
Okay. I think people know about the shotguns now. But here's the deal: when COVID came along, right? Here's what really fucking bothered me. I was listening to David Icke, okay, in a basement, and he said the vaccines are poison and 5G is going to activate them and destroy your life. Like, I don't know about that, but I do know one thing: lizards are real. So the thing is, I didn't take the vaccine, and I was really skeptical of the government. And if you were skeptical, the whole thing was nonsense. What bothered me is people were sitting around, oh my God, we're all working together. There's so much unity. And I was like vomiting just listening to these fucking retarded people go along with this delusional narrative. Like, oh my God, like, I hate humans so much. So, on the other side of delusional behavior, okay, on the other side of naive, retarded narratives, I'll be waiting in a lawn chair when you're ready. See you after 7 years of psychiatric drug withdrawal. Then we can talk about the extent to which, oh my God, antidepressants saved my life. Did they? Or were you conned by these fucking psychopaths who control the world? I'll be in my lawn chair when you're ready. Okay?
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but seriously. So the thing is, what bothers me too much is how naive and trusting and how all these people need all these illusions to sort of function. I was handicapped for like 5 years. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't function. And I was getting death threats on a regular basis. That'll turn you into a lawn chair person. Trust me. And so, meanwhile, I look at other people's Instagram sometimes, and I look at what they were doing in the same period when I was like lying in the fetal position, like shaking and sweating and like malfunctioning and like, going in and out of a coma. It was like being on a fucking bad trip of LSD for 3.5 years. It's funny, but the one thing that'll get you through an acid trip is the fact that this will eventually end, tonight. That's what gets you through. So the idea of an acid trip that is beyond your wildest imagination lasting for 3.5 years, and then like it just never ends. Like it never fucking ends. And I look at these other people and they're just like sitting on a beach in Bali, like my office for the week. I was like, good Lord, just kill me. Like kill me now. Like I'm just sitting there just like hoping for death, looking at these morons, just being just like, oh my God, I'm on vacation. And it's like, I'm supposed to relate to this fucking nonsense. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm reiterating double shotgun, grenade hat, chickens, unvaccinated, and everyone can just fuck off.
I think this is a good ad for women out there. That you are available and ready to mingle. Ladies, get it while it's hot. He will kill everyone. Good night.